Welcome back, ladies and gents. We have one more map to do. It's Fnatic and iBUYPOWER. They'll be playing on Inferno, which is the home map of Fnatic. Vetoed was overpassed in Mirage by iBUYPOWER. And Paul has rejoined me.
Yes, back for more Counter-Strike because I liked it a lot earlier.
It was fun.
It was fun.
It was really fun.
Yeah. Felt a little bit rusty game one, but I think game two was a little bit better, and it's a more action-packed game as well, which always helps. Hope you're enjoying the coverage out there as well. No, apologies for the delays. It's been a rough old day on the internet front, and some other obstacles in the way stopping us from delivering the kind of coverage that you are expecting from the FACEIT Grand Finals. But hopefully we'll get through that today. We've got two more games to come. iBUYPOWER and Fnatic up against each other. Fnatic going to be starting as the home team in our first game. Interesting that we've ended up on Inferno again. I say again because obviously the American teams, well, Cloud9 didn't do particularly well earlier on against DaZeD, and it's gone the same way for iBUYPOWER as well. It's
really hard to pick against, to pick your vetoes against Fnatic. I mean, it's one of those situations. I think it's highlighted previously with Cloud9 about Overpass. Seems to be, generally the same trend. From North America, Overpass is not played nearly as much and enjoyed as nearly as much as it is in Europe, so they have to veto that. And then it's already a hard enough choice, and then they just go with Mirage. I mean, how do you deal with this situation?
Well, I mean, Lurpus made the great point earlier that Cloud9 have given away the fact that they're going to have to veto Overpass every time, which actually means they only get one veto really, because they can't afford to put that in there. It's the same for iBUYPOWER in many ways. When they switch around to the home team, I'll be interested to see what they veto though, because I spoke to Steele before, and he was very much of the opinion that he wanted his team to be able to play what he called the American maps, i.e. cash and season.
Right.
That's the game. They're the games he feels that he can beat these two teams in the group. So interesting to see when we flip back round. But first of all, of course, we've got the Fnatic home game. Let us know what you think about the vetoes as well. I actually personally love the idea of the veto system. For the first time, I think we've actually got a veto system that makes sense in the way that these two teams are playing each other home and away, and home field advantage actually yields you an advantage for once, whereas before it never really did when you played a team twice in a group.
Oh yeah, and just speaking about the way the format played out in the league, it's just the best thing is that at the start of the league everybody knew what maps were being played for every match. Every match leading up to the finals.
Boring from StarCraft stuff now.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, because in theory, if a team like really studies hard, watches their demos, they can kind of counter strat or prepare for certain teams or matches they think could be particularly important. So,
talking about these two teams and the way that they qualified, Fnatic had an absolute stomping through the qualification. They lost 2 games in the entire season. Looked absolutely brilliant. Again, Lurpus earlier said, well, it's online, can't really take too much into it, but it still gives us an idea of where they are. So Fnatic have been great online, we know that, but as Thorin said earlier on, they haven't delivered in recent months. They've second in ESL 1, obviously in Cologne, but really haven't delivered what we were expecting them to perhaps deliver towards the end of 2014. It
is something to question when you do see an online result like that. It's so strong. It's like they're jumping in live, but to finish the fort, at least in the event that we have now, they've already had a really good result against Dignitas. Dignitas is usually a team that does really well in the groups. That's usually where they thrive. Usually the problems are later on. So
semi-finals usually.
Exactly. So I mean, it's very, very shocking, but we were actually into the pistol, I think, already. So here we go. Fnatic versus iBUYPOWER on Inferno for map 1.
Yes, indeed. And Cloud9 already suffering earlier on at the hands of the Europeans. Is it going to be a similar story here for our American friends of iBUYPOWER? Olof might have nearly missed Swag, who was hiding top of Banana, but Swag actually wins that battle, decides he's going to push in. They have stacked this site as well. There are 3 men inside the site right now. Another man rotating just behind them. 3 men pushing in towards this open site right now. Skadoodle picks up the second frag of the round, and this is going very well so far for iBUYPOWER. pronax the only one to reply back. Then the second comes in, and we're all back to even. Nicely set up inside this bomb site, Fnatic. And iBUYPOWER, they've kind of stalled here. They need to get a move on and get into this site, but they're not going to be able to. KRiMZ replying back from the steel frag. It's 2v2 now. All of them, well, I say all of them, 3 of the 4 tagged pretty heavily, and AZK was one of those. pronax finishing him off now. Still with the fake plant. It's 1v2. 24 seconds now. Time becoming a problem for Steel, as well as two players now. He's got to nail one of these very quickly and then get back to the site. He's not going to be able to do either. Pronax with the headshot, and Fnatic open things up in the pistol round.
That was a very interesting situation there. I mean, I don't think I've seen it where you've had 3 Ts just kind of stuck, not necessarily even in the site, but not even in construction, like in this weird place in between.
They just got stalled, didn't they? They just couldn't move anywhere.
It was a beautiful retake play from Fnatic and great patience from JW at the back of the site. And of course, we are going to see the PT50s come in from iBUYPOWER, and likely they'll follow the next round up with PT50s as well, as they haven't bought armor this time. And they will have to eco twice, not getting the bomb down.
Well, it's worked nicely for Swag already. Look at this, Olof Meister's going to push through. Already got that P90 ready to fire, but hasn't been able to chase himself a frag down just yet. And instead has to back away. AZK again. iBUYPOWER not scared of pushing forward here. Olof Meister again. Oh, yeah, he's actually been heavily tagged, then finally finished off. AZK again picking up another one. They've got a 2-man advantage here. And Fnatic now need to do some work of their own. They're going to have to split themselves across the 2 sites, 1 on each. KRiMZ is the man going to be covering on B. flusha on A. Still lots of work, though, for the Americans to do. .30 seconds left. 3-man top mid. Looks like covered site is the intended bomb site for iBUYPOWER. flusha waiting. Picks off one. Can he get the second? No, not quite. And Skadoodle replying back. And now in a 1 versus 1 now, because KRiMZ has leveled things up with 10 seconds to go. They've got to get the bomb planted here. It's Steel versus KRiMZ for the round. It's been a fabulous round by iBUYPOWER already, even if they don't manage to win it. But they've got a chance to win it here. KRiMZ waiting for the peak. Gets it. Steel down to 31 health. With the P90, bomb ticking away now. KRiMZ has to make his move. Still decides that Boiler Room is where he's going to come from, and KRiMZ picks him up. Has he got time? I think he has here. It's down to the wire, but that will be a round for Fnatic. But what a round from iBUYPOWER.
Oh, just wow. I mean, just ineffable round. I mean, the thing is that it can all turn from just that one PT50 frag, then that gun went down. So I got the frag, and the gun went down, and it went down pretty far in opponents. And JW was like, oh my god, the gun's down. And so he went to try to go out of position to secure the weapon. And then the frag from AZK, and all of a sudden, 2 players dead for Fnatic, and it's just all a shambles. So very, very amazing stuff there. Very tense early on. I love it.
Didn't win the round. Did plenty of dash on the board, and that's why we've got the 3rd round bye. Very interesting and aggressive start to this match from iBUYPOWER. Something we didn't really see from Cloud9 early on.
JW already with an AWP though on round number 3, so that will certainly be very fearful.
Yep, we'll definitely need to watch that. flusha has CT corner. Playing this one a little bit more patiently as they wait. Smokes are set. And is this... Well, I was going to ask if that was the Persian. The answer is no. Not just yet. 35 seconds left. JW having to take a much more defensive stance here. That flash is going to slow them down a little bit more, and they're ticking away now. 24 seconds, got to make a move. Covered site is the location they're going to go for. pronax somehow loses out to AZK, who picks up a brilliant double inside the site here. JW having to hop, skip and jump away, and they've already got this site locked down after a very crisp entry. And
wow.
Look at this, it's retreat time.
Well, they're going to actually save all 3
They are
weapons.
expensive set of weaponry right now, so they have to hold on to these. And iBUYPOWER, with a 3rd round bye, thanks to their brilliance really in round 2, have got themselves a 3rd round win.
The interesting thing there was that had Fnatic actually pushed down Banana during that long period where iBUYPOWER were threatening towards A, they would have worked out that it was most certainly going to be 8. But just the fact that they took so much time to kind of bait out the counter smokes, and the thing is that iBUYPOWER actually had enough smokes left to kind of, when their smokes had originally gone away, re-smoke the most important areas, and then hit Fnatic hard. And Fnatic were kind of in between positions just a tiny bit, and it was so much doubt and uncertainty there. I wonder if what would have happened had they just pushed Banana with one player. Very interesting round from iBUYPOWER. Not something I've seen in a long time, actually.
It's funny, actually, speaking to Still before, he said one of the things they've really got to do, beautiful headshot from Swag on KRiMZ, one of the things they really wanted to do to add to their standard strats was really become more scrappy and, you know, fight it out when they needed to fight it out. A bit like he said, like LDLC have recently, like NIP used to do. And we've kind of seen that in the first 3 rounds already.
Yeah, we certainly have, and already they are getting a lot of success up Banana, but they don't have to actually push in. If they play it really methodically, they can just force Fnatic to make a move, and in fact, flusha is going to try to do that. They need to find out what's happening.
Well, that was a bait, and it didn't work for AZK because flusha did pick up the kill. He could get a second one, he does! Nicely done by flusha. He's got JW with him as well, but I had a feeling they might decide to go, well, they were going to go down Banana, and then they decided to back away. They're just going to save these guns again. There's no point in doing anything else.
Yeah, it's really important that JW keeps that AWP alive still. It's such a big investment early on to lose it, and would not just be losing it, but actually iBUYPOWER would pick it up as well, and things would just get a little bit out of hand. So they actually did a lot of damage there. They killed 2 players, and from winning this round from the bomb explosion, it's going to be something like 3,300 for every player, so they're going to be something like 17k plus, but they took down 2 players. It's going to force around 10k rebuy, so they're definitely working in to the money there, but they're going to go for the push, actually.
Got one. Can they get the second? They can! Oh, my goodness!
Oh, no.
Steal. And a complete steal, actually, because they have stolen away. They didn't get the weaponry, but it doesn't really matter. They've actually forced the buyout on those 2, and it's ruined the economy of Fnatic right now.
What a disaster. That was... Oh, that hurts. I feel physical pain right now.
You feel physical pain?
I'm physically hurting from that.
Yeah, that's in the TV world we call that awkward.
Well, awkward. I have a lot of that.
Oh, hello. Well, it's a little strange. Swag, the man to lose his life in the middle of that confusion. And now they've just got flusha left here for Fnatic. Should be another round to iBUYPOWER, who've come back into this strongly. Had a good old go in round 1, a very good go in round 2, and then 1 round 3, and haven't looked back since. And this is going to be a bye round, obviously, for Fnatic, but really, the last round was what really cost them this round, if you know what I mean.
They're forcing them to play with low economy as well, so despite having the M4s, very limited utility with those grenades, and we'll have to see what they're able to actually accomplish here. They're leaving 1 on B at the moment. Well, yeah, actually they're leaving 1 on B, very defensively as well, and going to kind of leave 1 floating. And it's pretty standard, but really it's all going to be about the team play and the tactical setups coming in from Fnatic to defend the pushes. And iBUYPOWER looks like they want to go for this.
They are going to go for it. They're going to drop out into this covered site right now. pronax and JW, nice combination between the 2. And that's going to... It's going to scare iBUYPOWER a little bit, and flusha and JW finishing things off. That was a lot more clinical from Fnatic, it has to be said. iBUYPOWER, that's 3 in a row, was perfect. Everything was going fine. What went wrong?
It felt a little bit uninspired, that push. I mean, they just pushed deep into these defensive positions, these setups. They didn't try to make things awkward or bait out grenades. That was something that Fnatic had very few of. Had they actually tried to play a slower round and forced the usage of some of those grenades, the eventual push would have been a lot stronger from iBUYPOWER, and they would have had, I don't know, it just felt like they just jumped straight in the deep end there.
Olof initial push down Banana was looking pretty positive, and then he decided better of it.
They do have Banana control at the moment though, and this is certainly going to give them a lot of information as iBUYPOWER play out the rest of the rounds.
Definitely squashing them in right now in second mid, and 3 of them by cart. And they literally are squeezing the life out of iBUYPOWER right now.
The boa constrictor play.
It is. Limited options. They have to go for this now. Quad is flashed. One man on top of the roof will pick up the frag. Pronax was the man that got that. But still, and Skadoodle, now AZK have picked up a frag apiece to really give them an advantage here. And Swag's now got pit lockdown. Where the heck has that come from? Olof has got two. He's inside the covered site right now. They didn't spot him as he went in. Finally gets shut down by Swag. And now it's a 2v1. KRiMZ, the last man standing, for a 4-3 lead for Fnatic. Bomb going to go down right now. KRiMZ knows one's on site. He'll probably guess there's one underneath him in pit as well. And that man is Swag and does do the tag. KRiMZ is going to be locked down here. And iBUYPOWER have a 4-3 lead again. They weren't 4-3 up earlier, but they have the lead again.
It's actually quite cool that iBUYPOWER are showing no fear towards this scrappy play, because usually it's very difficult to run into Fnatic because they are so strong individually. We already saw a lot of peaks, like flusha just went out there. He just wanted to fight. He was confident he could get 2 frags just with no support.
Mag 7 in play. JW with that in hand. Be fun if he came up against Swag, wouldn't it? And we really would be able to call it a Swag 7. 4-3, the Americans leading in Group B. Already seen matches played in this one where Fnatic absolutely demolished Dignitas in both of their earlier games. Fnatic needing just one of the 2 games against iBUYPOWER to secure their place in the semi-finals, where they would already join LDLC, who are 4 out of 4 this afternoon.
And they tried to force one player back there with all that threat towards B, but they didn't accomplish it, and it's still a default setup for Fnatic. They're not buying the bait.
Top mid, 4 players. flusha going to have to push back and retreat. Here's JW in that nice position. And look at this. Here comes Swag. He is going to come face to face with this Mag 7 any moment now from JW.
Uh-oh, the bomb.
Oh dear. This could be bad. And DaZeD does get the frag. Skadoodle's coming for another one now as well. But, oh, he's got heavily tagged, and then flusha nails him as JW hits the deck at the same time. Now flusha's got to do it pretty much all on his own inside this pit here. He's going to wait for KRiMZ to come over and help him out. He's on his way now, and it doesn't matter. He can do it on his own. flusha wins the round, and Fnatic tie things up at 4-4. That was...
I see the scrappiness you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean... The funniest thing is, if he hadn't told me, I'd probably have figured it out after a couple of rounds anyway, because they are playing a very kind of scrappy strap system. But I guess that's what Steel and the guys have figured out they need to do. Skadoodle there with AWP.
Indeed.
He's an old school AWPer, by the way. I knew Skadoodle back in the Source days. He was also an exceptional player back then.
It's interesting that iBUYPOWER choose to put so many players to take Banana. Usually teams rely on either 2 or 1 player. In the case like Fnatic, they only need flusha. You know, only Freiburg's required on NIP. You know, some teams are able to do that with certain players, but they're actually putting a lot more emphasis on it and not really delving into apartments. And we can see JW's there and a bit of pressure from Steel, but largely it's up for grabs for Fnatic, and that's free information. Yeah,
it's definitely a change of strategy to cope with them.
Fnatic, I think, have a good idea of what's happening right now, and they are, I would say, quite prepared for anything that comes their way, having so much control on Banana.
It's almost like they want them to go to the covered side, pushing them that way every round. That's annoying. DaZeD,
wow.
Well, ruined, basically. Absolutely ruined. As Olof picks up a double, couldn't get the triple, though, still clocking that one up before he's taken out by flusha. And now AZK will be last man standing. Has got bomb very quickly as well. Nicely recovered. There is only a 1v1 here if he can be quick. But the rotation is already on from Banana from flusha. And that's what counted in the end. 5-4.
Yeah, this is really, really interesting, actually, now that...
it's a fun game, isn't it? Back and forth, very back and forth. And it's It's not quite sexy Counter-Strike, it's scrappy Counter-Strike, but it's fun.
It's bloody, there's mud flying.
It's definitely gory.
There's all kinds of things going on right now, and still the mag actually on JW, and he is reserved to use this at close ranges, typically apartments. As we get the middle smoke on Banana, again, so Fnatic keep control of Banana. Very nice position for JW. Could be picking up some frags as there is a heavy presence towards the A site, and they are looking for a set play onto A at the moment with these pistols. Let's see what they're able to accomplish.
Smoke sent. Lands. Push coming any second, is it? Well, grenade will keep them back a little bit. Did do a little bit more damage. Skadoodle and DaZeD both reduced health, and here they come. Well, they were going to try and come anyway, but that's not going to make any difference. Only AZK picking up a kill in the middle of that. And a nice round from Fnatic. They are able to stretch out their lead for the first time in the game to 2 rounds.
So already it feels like Fnatic's Banana control has been giving them a lot of ability to deal with what comes their way. iBUYPOWER not really so far challenging it back, and this seems to be giving Fnatic a good heads up on what's going to be happening. And they are able to deal with it. And
ooh. Well, I mean, give me JW in a fantasy team with an AWP down mid with a peak on a head, and I'll take it every time. But for whatever reason, he just showed me he's actually human. And
Not for long.
And then, yeah, just destroyed what I just said. So forget about that. Let's move on. JW did nail a player with the AWP. Pronax will come in with another one here, and they're 2 without reply. iBUYPOWER really got to start doing something. That nade's good, and it's into that pit. That will deal with JW. It would have done if AZK hadn't finished him off with the AK, but Olof's just behind them here. He's got one, and we're now in a 2 versus 1. And it's not in favour of the terrorist-sided AZK, but he might just get a bomb plant. Wow, does actually get the headshot onto Olof, and now it's 1v1. KRiMZ looking for the plays, actually down behind him right now in quad, and I don't think AZK really knows where he is, so staying put is a good idea right now. Here we go with KRiMZ. Edging closer. 1v1, oh my goodness. Great timing from AZK. Popped up at exactly the right moment. And wins iBUYPOWER their 5th round. This is a wonderful game between the 2 teams and very, very tight.
the really surprising thing about that round was that JW missed so many shots from pit. He had, I don't know, like
Hold on a minute. What are you saying? JW is best JW. You can't say things like that, Dan.
I go on what I see, and I saw JW missing like 4 or 5 shots in a row.
I don't believe
Had he connected half of those, that would have been an easy round for Fnatic.
No, not having that.
So JW making a mistake.
I didn't see any missed shots in that last round.
Your faith is so strong, it blinds you to the truth, Paul. You're blind to the truth.
6-5 to Fnatic. Losing yet another round.
Sticking to this middle banana smoke, and they've even reserved just one player to deal with the banana now, and they got 4 towards Ace. So this is a very strong setup should there be a push towards Ace. It's down to iBUYPOWER to try to encourage a rotation and have just a 3-man setup on A, but so far that's not the case.
Did have a tweet earlier which said, "Where are the masks?"
Well, let's not talk about the masks.
Let's not talk about those. It's not Halloween yet. Here we go. The power starting to be unleashed by the IBP guys, but they've been shut down by JW on site, who's got 2. And again, AZK one of the last men alive here. It is a 2 versus 2. Make that 2v1. flusha getting rid of AZK, and now Olof and flusha surely are going to be able to win out this round. Olof with the Mag 7, short range, easy victory, easy frag, easy defuse.
That was nasty. flusha just got like this stray bullet, and it connected straight to the guy's head and put him down to 10 HP. That was very depressing. Almost looked like a doable 1 versus 2 before that happened.
Yeah.
And really nice retake from Fnatic. Very well done actually by iBUYPOWER to get into that setup, because they're kind of playing into exactly what Fnatic wanted to happen. I feel like iBUYPOWER really need to take take control of what's going on Banana. They're just letting Fnatic do whatever they want with it, and that cannot be the case.
CZ 1 AWP.
Oh, this is some Epsilon stuff. Where's FXio? Have to see if they're able to pull this one off, and it's going to be very difficult. It's not easy, but it is fantastic.
French strats on North Americans, love it. We halted a little bit top Banana. And flusha killing Swag and a chicken top mid.
Got to get his meat shields in front of him, has Skadoodle. 3 meat shields remaining. That's their only purpose right now.
I like that. Send in the meat shields immediately.
Looks quite interesting right now. It looks like iBUYPOWER trying to figure out what's going on at the moment, but Fnatic are not giving anything away. They're not really peeking or challenging, but there's Pop Flash.
He's going to get one, won't get any more though.
Oh no.
2 players top of the Banana will get taken out. Skadoodle with that AWP shot. Ooh, but flusha was still there, and I don't think Skadoodle realised that there was one more at that site. And now, DaZeD, under pressure, he's going to get nailed by the AWP of JW. 1v3. And again, AZK, last man standing and changing gun at the worst possible moment in the mid when you're being AWP'd at.
That guy that died on Arch, when he got shot, the camera went away from him just as you had the shot, and you knew that he died,
you knew
but
that
you didn't see anything.
No.
So it's almost like he got AWP'd off the server. Like that was fun. I found that interesting. That was fun for me. But another very poor situation on the money for iBUYPOWER, forcing them to just pistols, and 2 players there on Banana is certainly going to be bad times for iBUYPOWER if they choose to push it. Smoke there as always. It's like a permanent fixture at this point.
Yeah, I think the last round they weren't able to put it there actually at the start of the round because of that push up of Banana, but well, KRiMZ walks away at just the wrong moment. He wouldn't know that, of course. Oh, nice defensive incendiary put down, but they're not going to really care about that. The smoke's going to come in, and here we go. Is this a chicken shoot? No, it's not. KRiMZ only gets 1, and the CZs do their job inside the bomb site. But look at that, flusha with a stunning couple of headshots. Second one through the smoke, absolutely on point. Can he get another one? Pronax actually picks up the kill this time round. And now DaZeD will be the last one picked off by flusha. 9-5 for Fnatic.
It's really
and iBUYPOWER just starting to fall behind a little bit here. They were scrappy, they were insurgent, they were aggressive, they were on point at 6-5, but they've let the last 3 slip away.
And the interesting thing about the middle smoke is that as opposed to the deep Banana smoke, where you can leave 1 player on Banana to play it defensively, he gets enough warning time to actually rotate and his teammates to come in. Whereas the middle smoke, if they just hit you out of the smoke and there's just 1 guy there, there's almost nothing you can do to stop them.
There's JW being aggressive on Banana, and they've done this a few times throughout the first half, and it's nearly always proved right. Look, KRiMZ is with him.
They didn't even smoke it. That is bold.
Oh my goodness.
This is very aggressive.
Okay, well, it receives almost no action from iBUYPOWER. Finally, they realise, hey, wait, where did that come from? But not before KRiMZ has already got himself 1. JW now bottom of mid, tags 1, does he? A little bit. Didn't get the second, though. But the damage is, well, it's done. They've done their job, even if they go back and sit on that bomb site now.
Yeah, 2 AWPs on the CT side, and they actually have the smokes as well to keep smoking it off, because they didn't use one for quite some time, just on slope.
Yep.
JW actually missing a couple of shots there as well.
Stop it, Dan.
Very unlike him.
Stop it, Dan.
I have to be impartial, you know.
Casting aspersions on a man who never misses. It's not right. Wow. See, that was Olof.
All right, well, okay.
You might be confused. KRiMZ picks up another one before getting locked down finally. He's actually had a very good round as KRiMZ. Got himself 3 in the round. And the last man was Swag. It's 10-5 at the half, and actually I think that's a little unfair on iBUYPOWER, I have to say. I think with the way that they put up their fight in the first 11 rounds, you expected that might have been a 9-6, maybe an 8-7 kind of map, but Fnatic just stretching out when it needed to be stretched out right at the end of the round.
Yeah,
right at the end of the half, sorry.
There was that moment when iBUYPOWER had some momentum and they were doing quite well early on in the game, and then they decided to do this push when they knew that Fnatic's economy is like really weak, like just enough to get the M4s at least, but they should have known that they couldn't have had many nades or much utility. But they decided to do a really fast play, and usually that's what you kind of want to do if you have a low amount of nades, because you only have so many nades, right? So you've got to make sure that they're effective. And instead of trying to bait them out and play a slow Inferno game, which is pretty much everybody knows how to do, I don't need to explain it. They just decided to just literally just jump into the deep end. They just launched themselves out of the balcony and gave Fnatic a chance that they shouldn't have had. And then Fnatic started taking banana control on their CT side. iBUYPOWER didn't respond very effectively to that. Their options were limited. Fnatic were able to read them very well because of that, all the information they were getting. And despite JW missing a few shots here and there, they were able to quite easily just be a step ahead. So 10-5 is certainly a bit gutting for iBUYPOWER, but I'm very curious to see how this is going to go. NIP against Fnatic, what they usually do is they play hyper defensive, and they are good at that. But against Fnatic, they're even more defensive because they're afraid of the picking style.
So DDK confirmed JW hater. We know that now.
No, please no. I don't want to get like nuked my Twitter and everything. It's going to get nuked now. All the JW fans.
10-5 at the half. Fnatic with that 5-round advantage. Now switching over, they've lost a ton of health on the Wonder Child, on the Wunderkind, and he will go down. Pronax being shot by AZK in the pit. He's going to get a second one as well. That's nice. And a 4v3 advantage for the North Americans here. JW, very little health, 15. Flusha is disposed of by Swag. And this is going to take a little bit of a miracle here for the boys in yellow. KRiMZ not able to reply back, and JW now the last man. Now, if he hit every shot, he could kill all 4 players. No doubt about that.
I'm not going to say anything at this point.
I'm just baiting you out.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything.
15. Wow, that was kind of clumsy. Just sort of stumbled away from that and got picked off by DaZeD. It'll be a straightforward defuse. And iBUYPOWER win the pistol round on the second half.
All right, game on, game on.
Do you think?
Game on. Well, if they lost this one, it would basically be game off. So now this is game on. I mean, they should be able to. I mean, we've seen this a few times from LDLC. They're particularly good at this kind of stuff. But we've seen that aggressive buy come in from the team that loses. They did get the bomb down, so they. Yeah. So LDLC do have some set plays that they use, but Fnatic aren't going to be going for that. I mean, they're a team that's going to be wanting that 3rd round rifle buy, and they know that that's good. So they can just have a light investment, and whatever happens on this round happens. They're going to be looking at the next round already.
There's a trail of players leading up. Oh, they're going to make a fast push here. Pronax straight away is round CT arch side. Skadoodle's going to get surprised here, but he did manage to turn around, and he'll be able to call that pretty quickly. They've kind of stalled a little bit, actually, at CT spawn. They needed to carry on, but instead they've gone all the way through. Still is on the way back to rotating down towards Banana to cover it, but that's not where they're going to come from. They're going to come from CT spawn right now. 3 of them pushing in towards the uncovered site. KRiMZ, JW and Olof all trying to make their way in. At short space, though, it's going to be a turkey shoot, frankly, and iBUYPOWER will easily clean up the round and reduce the gap to 3.
That reminded me of that moment from that Star Wars movie. I
thought you were going to go with Benny Hill.
No.
Right.
That moment when Han Solo, I can't remember which of the 3 originals it is, but Han Solo was charging down the corridor, like just by himself against like a legion of stormtroopers screaming, and they all start running away. That's almost what it looked like with Steel. He's running away with the Mag 7.
If you're just tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Star Wars Story Time with DDK and myself.
Wait, are we stopping this now? Okay, let's get back into the match.
Let's get real, man. 10-7. Fnatic losing both of the opening 2 rounds. Now Skadoodle at short range, brilliant little shot onto Pronax. Actually took his head off his shoulders as well. Had to, because they were a man down, but they've made a quick play for this covered site. And bomb is planted. JW's going to wait here nicely and gets a nice easy frag onto DaZeD. The smoke's going to be useful. Oh, still very close range, and well, couldn't get that Mag 7 out quite quick enough. but they're exchanging frags right now. iBUYPOWER with a little bit of an advantage now. One man in towards the side. KRiMZ will nail both of Skadoodle and Swag. And Fnatic will win the round, and that could be a very big round for the Swedes.
Very nice stuff. I mean, I'm really afraid for iBUYPOWER's style, because if they try to match Fnatic now by going a bit too aggressive, this is exactly how Fnatic want to play the game. This is why JW has an AWP. Usually AWP is not such a good opening weapon for teams, because it's hard to find angles on this map if teams play defensively. But if they play aggressively, this is like Christmas for JW, who's going to be ready on the angles with the AWP. And then once the bomb's down, you can say goodbye to your rounds, as Fnatic should be looking really, really good from a strategy and style point of view. So they have three M4s alive. There's a few ways to handle this, but I think we are going to see a push in a moment.
We are indeed. Waiting patiently. Skadoodle just firing through the smoke to try and stop that push coming too soon. Swag doing the same from quad right now. Has been damaged by that grenade. Did get a kill through that smoke too. But look at this, Olof again through CT Arch. Didn't continue with that push, but he might just do that in a moment. But I think he's just going to cause a distraction so that they can push in towards B at the same time. Does get the kill. Now they're going to think it's a covered site push, and now you'll see them rush in from Banana. JW's gone in towards the site now. He's going to make some noise here. They push in with KRiMZ. Bomb is going to go into this site now, but still is waiting. He's got one. Short range here against the AWP. Can he get it? Well, he did tag one as well. Brilliant shot from Still. That's fantastic from Still. Finally gets chucked out. And Olof must actually picked up a team kill in the middle of that because of all the damage that Still did. And after it all shakes out, we're now down to a 1v1 with 4 seconds to go. They can't plant. They don't have long enough. Olof's chasing. He's going to survive, though. And Swag wins the round by hiding, no less.
What? Wow, that was
MVP in the round. Still. Easily.
5-7.
And he bought what? Nothing.
5-7. 5-7's really good, but 5-7. That's all I'm going to say. Steel 7.
That's it. It's going to be nerfed.
Steel 7.
It's now the Steel 7. So 11-8, and the gap remains 3. iBUYPOWER just keeping them in check. Look at this. Quiet 5-man rush, but they boosted Steel up, and he picks off the first one. He's having a great game. And another one nailed from short range. Can he get a third? Not quite, actually. But he's done the damage he needed to. flusha and pronax now last 2 alive. And well, they're going to need a bit of a miracle, actually. They've got no hopes, and one of them is Bob.
All right, so Fnatic invested quite a bit into that round, just so much that they could just buy on this round. But we go back to the point before about a limited amount of grenades. This should affect the pace of Fnatic and to speed things up. They should be playing a speedier pace. Skadoodle with the AWP, though, where it really depends on how he plays his AWP and where he's going to go. He's going to go in middle. This could be dangerous for Fnatic.
Wow.
Oh, wow, that was close.
Yeah.
Had a haircut there.
Definitely lost a blade of hair on the top of his head, that's for sure.
No they won't expect
this.
No
points for that, though. Whoa, there's 3 of them lined up here. Oh, my goodness. Well, the luck of the draw said he had to hit one of them, and he did. Now, JW decides he's going to walk from the balcony. Lands one through the box. That was good damage, but wasn't a kill. And instead, now KRiMZ can reply back on AZK. And again, when it all shakes out, it's back down to a 1v1, which still will clutch again. And iBUYPOWER are not going to lay down in this game. Cloud9 did earlier on against LDLC on this very same map. It's not going to be lightning striking twice here. Fnatic now have a 1-round lead.
Maybe my expectations are too high for JW, but I don't know if I'm just selectively seeing him missing a lot, but there definitely seems to be a bit of a void sometimes when he's picking up the AWP.
Yeah,
some shots you do should expect to connect.
Absolutely. Joking aside, obviously, you know, he doesn't miss many usually, and he's not having the greatest of games.
Yeah, it's not on for him today. Luckily, he's got an amazing roster to back him up, but at the moment, it's certainly hurting that he's missing in honestly key moments.
Couldn't find the toilet earlier either. Had to help him. Just saying.
It's hard to find. I struggle. as well. I think I know what it is now.
Wow, iBUYPOWER making light work of the eco.
I can tell you how to ask where the toilet is in Italian if you want. Might come in handy.
Really?
And to all the viewers who at some point find themselves in need of a toilet in Italy, in a foreign place.
Yeah.
It is dove bagno. Dove is where, bagno is toilet, for clarification.
Where toilet?
Exactly, and it works like that. You can actually do it
Perfect.
with people. I could be like, dove red eye, and people would know. I think.
It's great. Italian lessons
I'm a
now.
professional.
I'm loving this.
We're at my pickup lines.
We're at 11-all. In this first game of iBUYPOWER's Group B game. It's Fnatic's third. They've already beaten Dignitas twice today. We've already seen Team-LDLC win all 4 of their games today. They're safely through to the semi-finals without dropping a map. And look at this, Skadoodle. Is he gonna pick first? He is, and JW will take full advantage in the eye-to-eye battle. Push into the site is very quick. flusha did get tagged on the way through, and then finished off by Steel once more, who's actually going to pick up a second. He is going to get a second, couldn't get the third, even though he switched across to the pistol. But my goodness, Joshua Nissan is having an absolute blast today.
They have construction, so there's hope for the retake. Just got to synchronize.
Yeah, AZK just making that rotation now. And pushes in slightly late. Bomb just momentarily planted before, and that's given them a slight advantage here. You'd fancy them to clean this one up nicely, and they do.
I actually ducked in my chair when AZK was going in. He had like the grenade out,
yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, ducking away. It's incredibly tense right now. Everything is on. They're walking the razor's edge, both of these teams. The economies aren't looking good for anybody at this point in time. We're getting so late into the match, so that's starting to really make every single round be incredibly crucial.
Yeah. If iBUYPOWER can get anything out of this round, they'll be lucky. 2 CZ75s, 3 pistols, and a boost, perhaps. And can you still do? Yeah, no, I was going to say you can't do that. That's all you can do there, right?
You can't do. If you mean you can't, you can only stack 2 players in this game, not 3. But very creative stuff here, and it's worth noting that iBUYPOWER are playing for relevance, because a lot of people have largely begin to count them out as top contenders due to a recent string of 5th to 8th places and stuff like that. And so this tournament is incredibly important for them, as they get a chance to, before a big major, show off or go into the major with better footing.
Star Ladder 10 champions, but that's it this year in 2014 for Fnatic. Second ESL 1 Cologne earlier on in the year.
So the stack's not quite panning out for iBUYPOWER, and Fnatic just have to defend, and it should be a pretty simple affair.
Yeah, played this one nice and cagey. Straightforward entry. They've lost just 37 health between them and managed to dispose of Steel.
Going for those exits. They want to pick up those weapons and do that damage as they can. Be as cost efficient as possible, as they know it's pretty impossible to move into this site right now.
I know this might be a bit inane.
Okay, I love this already.
But I still don't know why they want to kill goldfish.
Kill what?
Goldfish.
Goldfish?
I'm still not with it. I'm still not convinced.
Maybe they're hungry. Although they don't really have much in the way of means to cook the goldfish unless they want to invest in a grenade. But that's a very expensive way to cook a goldfish, is to use a Molotov.
What happens when they blow them up though? Where do they go?
Actually, these goldfish are extremely resilient.
Right.
I think they are the subjects of vast quantities of radiation. They're mutant goldfish. I think I worked it out.
Mutant goldfish, got it. Meanwhile, 13-11. Fnatic now 3 away from claiming their place in the semi-final. They would do so with a win here. But iBUYPOWER still need to get something out of this game. If they can get 1 map out of the 2 that they play, leaves them in a much better position when they play Dignitas tomorrow, because they would only have to win 1 of the 2 maps against them as well. And as Tommy said earlier on, you don't want to start the day 0-2. We've already seen when it's done to Cloud9. Luckily, they've got away with it thanks to the brilliance of LDLC's comeback in Game 2 against Virtus.pro, or Virtus.throw as we're now calling them. Two great hits from Swag, and the final one from DaZeD will get them around here. And they've reduced the gap to 1. And the economy is not good for Fnatic right now. They're deciding what they're going to do. They are going to go for this, though, with a CZ75 in the hands of flusha, 3 AKs and an AWP. So, not terrible. And not a full set of armour, or, well, actually a full set of armour, but not a full set of headgear. So slightly risky, because they know if they lose this one, they would have to eco the next. But I suppose, in a way, they would rather eco the next than this one. It's definitely going to be 14-13 that way around.
And they have the deep banana smoke, and this is, of course, going to afford them a lot of map control. And Skadoodle's playing quite far back, and this is one way to play it, where you can, obviously, if you see somebody, you can safely just rotate. It doesn't need to really challenge too much, just one shot and then fall back onto the site call, make the call to the teammates. Someone can float around from A, and everything's fine. But Fnatic, it's like they want to rotate to him.
Well, they're going to have to, because still, well, he won that in a brilliant headshot with the AWP from Skadoodle. And still forced them to go back round the other way. And straight into the AWP of Skadoodle. DaZeD, in the meantime, has picked up another one. But they are going to get into this bomb site yet again. And I have to say, the bomb entries today have been very crisp from almost all the teams, including Cloud9 early on. And flusha picking off AZKs. Only one of 2 players now. They're under pressure here. 3v2. Still picks up the frag on KRiMZ now. It's a 1v3. flusha on his own. Picks up the first kill. Can't get the second one though. Swag locks him down. And iBUYPOWER into the site. And they will even things back up yet again. It really is game on now. 13-13.
Are we going to see iBUYPOWER actually take this away from Fnatic? I mean, that would be amazing. I mean, we already saw Fnatic beat Dignitas. If Fnatic lose to iBUYPOWER, we could have like a three-way tie possible situation, I believe. So that would be massive.
Yes, still possible, but only if iBUYPOWER win both maps against Fnatic. And then Fnatic would have to rely on the fact the Dignitas would get beaten by iBUYPOWER.
I would never have predicted iBUYPOWER to already be doing this well in Inferno against Fnatic. And of course, this isn't Fnatic's pick as well. They would have also surmised this in their choice. So, you know, they're going to be on eco right now with some grenades, actually. So we'll have to see what they have in store. Usually, with an investment like this, it looks like the set play on B is coming. Skadoodle's going in.
Wow. A little bit too close as well, and that was risky. Very risky indeed. And Fnatic are going to punish them. That grenade's also going to get punished as well. And at short range, still gets the first. Can he get the second? Not quite. He can't get it. And he's now going to get attacked from the right-hand side and the left as well. And has to back away and reload. Oh, that's not gone well for DaZeD either. This is not going well at all for iBUYPOWER. Just when we thought they were playing well, they've absolutely fallen apart here in round 27. And the 2 men remaining now have fortified. It's 1v4 now. And still has 8 health. It's not going to last.
Oh my
goodness.
And
Fnatic have picked up. Well, I wouldn't say they were brilliant in that round. It was more that iBUYPOWER just made some mistakes. Skadoodle went too fast too soon on Banana. Still didn't land his shots at the end. It was just a mess.
I think what Fnatic identified was the fact that Skadoodle had been playing alone on Banana in the previous rounds as well. And they had a limited money, so they had just enough to buy that amount of nades. So what they decided was, okay, what can we do effectively with this amount of nades? We know Skadoodle's alone there. Just have to hit it fast. And that's exactly what happened. It was perfect.
And now we have a partial buy for iBUYPOWER, who are in all sorts of trouble now after what looked like they could be 14-13 up. They're now 14-13 down with money problems.
It was a big risk having Skadoodle alone there like that.
It really was. In hindsight, they'll look back on that, I think, and, they'll be disappointed. That's probably an understatement.
Yeah, but DaZeD
might get himself one here. Well, no, that's not worked either. And for every man that drops now, Fnatic move closer to victory as olofm picks up another one. He's going to get a third. That's fabulous from him in the apartments area. 3 down, 2 to find. Not going to find any more though. Skadoodle absolutely smacking him in the face with that AWP. But he's got to do a lot more work now before iBUYPOWER can rest easy. It's a 2v3. Fnatic with the advantage. Ooh, Skadoodle, if only he'd landed the first one. Under pressure now in pit. Can't land the short range unscoped either. JW picks up that one. flusha cleans the second one. And Fnatic move to match point.
Yeah, iBUYPOWER had the partial buy there, and they played a little bit desperately. And this is something that Fnatic were expecting. That's what you tend to expect. Okay, they have less weapons, less good weapons, less nades. You know, surely they would want to do something aggressive. So most teams react by just playing very passively, as on the T side in that situation. In the opening, that's what they did, and they just picked it up. So iBUYPOWER perhaps feeling the anxiety a little bit too much.
So close. And yet, so far. Now, if this round is won by Fnatic, it can't be a draw in the group, which means that the round differences won't play any difference after this, other than they could between iBUYPOWER and Dignitas. Now, having 13 on the board right now is very good for iBUYPOWER, because if it comes down to round differences between them and Dignitas, they are almost ahead of Dignitas, having only played one map.
Very good point, actually, yeah. That is a very good point.
So if it ends up being 1-1 between them, or iBUYPOWER pick up one map against Fnatic in the second game.
But Paul, they're CZs right now.
Yeah,
just that's my analysis right now. CZs equals hope.
Really?
Yes.
I don't have any.
The Steel 7 as well. If the CZs don't do it for you, what about the Steel 7?
Yeah, the Steel 7 is definitely OP. We know about that.
Do you think the chickens and the fish have an understanding on this map?
I don't know. There's just too many animals in this game for my liking.
There is, isn't there?
2 to find now for Fnatic, and they will pick up another 3 points. It will secure them their semi-final place, as if that were any doubt anyway. JW moves them one step closer. Still now, the only man standing between him, and that's Steel 7, working very nicely, in fact, with a one-shot onto JW. My wonder child, that was a wonder shot. Won't last for long, though. Olof finishes things off. 16-13 is your final score in Game 1. Fnatic in the end running out. Good winners, worthy winners, I think, over when you look at the entire match. But I've got to say, iBUYPOWER putting up a really good fight in the game overall, and maybe doing better than most people thought.
Yes, I mean, when you look at Fnatic, I think the only thing that was really missing was JW hitting a few AWP shots. But beyond that, iBUYPOWER put together a lot of great rounds.
Yeah.
I think they made a few mistakes when it came to strategy and just some of the mid-round calls. But generally speaking, I think that looked much more promising than I expected. And I think many other people. And we do have a handsome desk full of analysts and Thorin over.
Oh, shots fired.
So we're going to shoot over to those guys.
The funny thing is we don't listen to them at all, so I have no idea what they just said. I think they made some sort of joke, but we don't even listen to them.
Yeah, we don't have headphones in, so we can't hear, mate. So.
Oh, I have one. I just turned it down when they start talking.
Fair enough.
I mean, I don't even.
I
literally don't even have earphones.
Oh, exactly. All right, so
maybe it was funny, maybe it wasn't. Who knows?
I mean, kind of as expected, Fnatic does pull out the win, but maybe closer than we thought it might be.
Well, I mean, I think it's one of those things where Fnatic had to wait for a little bit, wait for them to set up. They were probably just like tired from the whole day, just being here since the morning. I think iBUYPOWER arrived a little later, and it's where Fnatic probably underestimated iBUYPOWER a little bit, just from how easily they beat Dignitas, and then iBUYPOWER. I mean, they played well, but again, they just cracked just when they finally got close enough where they could sort of just taste like victory at the end. Got their first lead at 13-12. Boom. Lose a Glock eco, and just done deal.
Yeah, and that's what separates the good teams from the great teams, like you said, being able to not just be an A team or a D team, but you've got to get that win, that lead, and then keep it. Your thoughts on?
Well, I mean, in this game, iBUYPOWER had a lot of chances. It wasn't just at the end. Like, I remember there was a time when they were like only down something like, well, it was like 2-2, there was like 4-4, then they were like 5-6. So their problem was they could always keep a pace. They never let Fnatic tear it off and just really go on a big run. But they would always be just that close, and then they could never get like the 2 rounds in a row that they need to really break Fnatic, and then they'd be in position. And then obviously to lose that Glock eco, to a Glock eco rather, is absolutely terrible and ruined the whole game for them. Like, I actually think if you looked on paper, you'd have thought, what a terrible map for them here. Like,
Same map?
This is going to be really good for Fnatic. They're going to smash on Inferno. But actually, I thought it's a good map for iBUYPOWER, actually. I thought they'd have a chance on it. And that's one of those games where I almost actually felt like iBUYPOWER should have won in a sense. Like they had so many chances,